Hello, we are going to go over lesson 9-5, different ways to name the same number. So in my eyes, this lesson's a little tricky. So if you need to pause the video, stop it, just to understand what I'm saying, go right ahead. And I encourage you to do that because sometimes it's, you have to change your brain to understand different ways to make the same number. But I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So our first number is 435. So the first way that we can make 435, the easiest way is just expanding it, right? Just like we did in our last lesson, we have 400 plus 30 plus 5. So looking at we have 400, so you're going to write down that 400 plus 30 in our tens place plus 5, 435. So that's one way that we can show the number 435. Now, let's try to figure out another way to show this number. So another way is we can completely take out the tens and we could write 430. So we could have 430 tens. So we would put 430 tens all in this tens box, and that would give us the number 430. If we put 43 tens in there, it would give us the number 430. And then you could do plus 5. So you could still have those 5 ones in the ones place. So you would do 43 tens. So you would put 43 tens in here. I'm not going to do all of them, but you could put 43 tens because 43 tens equals 430. And then you have 5 left over. So you could do 430 plus 5. If you added those together, you would get 435. All right, and then another way, so you're kind of just breaking apart the main number, 435, into different ways on how to make it. There are multiple ways you can break it apart. You don't need to do the ways that I'm doing, but these are just ways that my brain thought of, and that maybe it'll help you guys. So the last way that I'm thinking of is breaking it apart and working with tens and ones. So I'm not going to break apart our 400 in this one. So I'm going to have 400, right? Because we're going to look at our 400 right there. Plus, now I'm going to give a 10, one of these tens, to a ones. So now we only have 2 tens, and now we have 15 ones. Because if you give a 10, so now I'm going to put 10 in here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need to erase one of those. This is making tally marks. I don't know why I didn't do them in the beginning. So we have 10, and then we have 5 more. So now we have 15 ones and 2 tens. So we have 20, because 2 tens is 20, plus 15. And now we still have the number 435. We have 400 plus 20 plus 15. You added those all together, you would still get 435. So there's our 3 different ways that you can make that number. You kind of just need to play around with either taking away 100 and putting them to the tens, taking away a 10, putting them into the ones, playing around with the numbers to be able to think of different ways to make the same number. So I have one more problem for us down here. Our number is 772. So the first way, I'm just going to expand it. That's the first way I think of, is expanding it into expanded form like we did in our last lesson. So we have 700, because that's in our hundreds place, plus 70, because we have a 7 in our tens place, plus 2, because we have a 2 in our ones place. So 772. That is one way that we can make this number. Another way we can make this number is doing 77 tens. So we're taking out, we're not using hundreds, we're going to put 77 tens. I'm not going to draw all those out. So we would have, so if you had 77 tens, you would have the number 770. And then we're just going to have our 2. We're not going to change that. So 770 plus 2 equals 772. So we took out the hundreds. We went to the tens on that one. Now I am going to take a tens out and give it to the ones to make our last way. So I'm just going to start with our hundreds, normal, regular. If I can get my pen. There we go. So 700, because we have a 7 in the hundreds place. And now I'm going to give a 10. So if we have 7 tens originally, I'm going to give a 10 to the ones place. So now we only have 6 tens left, because if I gave 1 to the ones place. And now we have a 10 in here. And now we have 2 left over. So it is going to be 700 plus 60 plus you have a 10, so that 1, and then you have 2, so we have 12. So 700 plus 60 plus 12 equals 772. So just playing around with it, your first way can always be expanded form. A second way, you can take out the hundreds and just use tens and ones. A third way is you can still use your hundreds, but then you can give a 10 to the ones place to be able to make another way. I hope that helped you guys. I will see you later. Bye.